schools are responsible for the debt that they incur.
District 11 hiring debt collectors to get families with overdue meal balances to pay up. Plus, more rain gardens being installed in Coon Rapids. We'll tell you why, but first.
I like to say it's going to be the place to either meet and or meet up.
A new restaurant about to make its debut at Bunker Hills. That tops CTN News this Friday, October 23rd, 2015. Thanks for joining us. A new destination restaurant is set to open in Coon Rapids.
Kendall's Tavern and Chop House will open next week at the Bunker Hills Clubhouse. Kendall's is owned by Morrissey Hospitality Companies of St. Paul, which took over after the Harvest Grill closed last year. CTN's Steve Antis has more.
Contractors have a few days to finish their work in time for the grand opening. What has been known simply as the Bar and Grill at Bunker Hills will now be Kendall's Tavern and Chop House.
So the private dining area will be able to accommodate groups up to 24 guests.
General Manager Heidi Shervey showed us around. She's worked with Morrissey Hospitality and has brought her experience from the St. Paul Hotel to this location.
So I absolutely took the role. I couldn't really say no to this exciting experience and the beautiful property.
The new lounge bar features a wall-to-wall booth along with a number of high-top tables.
We'll be able to seat up to 130 guests. So that room, we're not sure exactly how it's going to function in regards to, we might do some semi-private parties in there, otherwise just additional bar seating for all the guests we're anticipating to come in.
And new equipment has been added to the kitchen for what is certain to be the biggest draw for many, the food.
The tavern side is going to be available for lunch and dinner daily, and the tavern menu will offer a lot of shareable items such as appetizers, and then we'll also have a large selection of burgers and soups, salads, cold and hot sandwiches.
At 4 p.m., the wood fire grill heats up with items from the Chop House menu.
That would be our wood fire steaks, entree salads, pastas, and also fresh fish.
The wood fire stove will be used 7 days a week here at Kendall's. Half of the items on the new menu will be available gluten-free, and there will be several vegetarian options as well. At this destination restaurant, you can either make reservations or just walk in.
I like to say it's going to be the place to either meet and or meet up.
Steve Antis, CTN News.
The grand opening of Kendall's Tavern and Chop House will take place on Thursday, October 29th. For more information, log on to the restaurant's website. There you'll also find links to their social media accounts, including Facebook and Twitter.
Pay up or face a debt collector. That's the message from District 11 to families who owe money for their child's school meals. In the past 2 years, the district's child nutrition program has seen its debt jump to $160,000. About 1% of families owe $100 or more to the program. Now, these are not students who are on the free lunch program. School officials have tried phone calls and letters to no avail.
So what we decided to do with the board's approval was look at how can we set up payment plans, how can we deal with people, how can we talk to families and parents and say, we need to get this money back, this isn't okay, and we came to the fact that if people were just not in the end going to respond to us, if there was no consequence, then we needed to look at something that dealt adult to adult, which became collections.
One family in the district owes more than $4,000 for breakfast and lunches. The child nutrition program is self-supporting and doesn't use money from District 11's general fund. Some good news for a food delivery program that serves local seniors. The store-to-door program in the 7-county metro area is receiving $40,000 from the state to keep the service going next year. The store-to-door program delivers up to 28 pounds of food each month to dozens of seniors who may have difficulties getting to the store. In all, more than $7 million is going to services to help older adults stay in their homes.
Governor Mark Dayton says he's deeply concerned about a significant increase in the number of oil trains passing through the heart of the Twin Cities in recent months. In a letter this week to the CEO of BNSF, Dayton urged the railroad not to operate oil trains on the line that passes Target Field during events at the stadium. He also wants first responder training for all communities along the route. Since July, construction on the line running from St. Cloud to Coon Rapids has pushed more of the oil train traffic through the western metro. A lawnmower may have sparked a fire that damaged a Coon Rapids home last weekend. The fire broke out just after 2 last Saturday at this home in the 3600 block of 114th Lane. By the time the fire crews arrived, the 3-car garage was fully engulfed with flames. Crews eventually brought the fire under control, but not before significant damage was done. The 2 homeowners made it out safely, and firefighters were able to rescue a cat inside the home.
A longtime Coon Rapids volunteer who was once named Snowflake Day's King has died. Last month we sat in on one of Leland Tate's music therapy sessions at Cherrywood Advanced Living in Andover. He previously played tuba in the band and sang in the choir. So while in hospice care, a music therapist from Mary T came in weekly to allow him to express himself and give him a distraction from the pain as he battled leukemia. Afterward, he said his pain was cut in half. Leland passed away peacefully on Tuesday, surrounded by his family. He was 88 years old.
The flu season is underway, and that has many people thinking about those annual flu shots. Next Tuesday, Anoka County is holding a free flu vaccination clinic for children between 2 and 7 p.m. at Fridley High School. For the first 90 minutes, students with permission slips will be vaccinated. The public is invited starting at 3:30 p.m., but again, the vaccine will only be given to children between 6 months and 18 years of age, and that is on a first-come, first-served basis. For more information, call 763-422-6970. Work continues this week in an attempt to fight pollution in Coon Rapids.
Rain gardens have been installed at 38 homes to collect stormwater to keep chemicals out of area creeks. This week, CTN's Joe Nelson found out how they work and why we're seeing more of them around town.
Every October, Carol Rasmussen fills her yard with witches, ghosts, and gravestones to celebrate the season.
I got a skeleton up there that talks and says crazy things, and and a witch that hangs on the wall.
But she says she's trying to give more than just candy to younger generations.
We got a brochure through the mail, and just describing the rain gardens and the what it was going to do for the environment. And John and I are trying to take care of some of this here so there's something left for our kids and our grandkids.
The Rasmussens took advantage of the Coon Creek Watershed District's targeted rain garden project.
Stormwater runoff that comes along the streets and in the gutters right now goes directly to Sand Creek without receiving any form of treatment, removing sediment, removing pollutants. The curb cut rain garden diverts that water from the gutter line into a shallow depression in the homeowner's yard and allows that water to soak back into the ground.
Mitch Haustein with the Anoka Conservation District says the rain gardens decrease the amount of chemicals that seep into Sand Creek and Coon Creek that could hurt fish and other animals or even get into drinking water.
There are large drainage areas on the order of 50 to 100 acres to some of these properties that get routed to Sand Creek.
With funding available, rain gardens are installed at no cost with only an agreement for homeowners to maintain them for 10 years.
It's a win-win-win. I mean, it's beautiful landscaping. The homeowners get something really nice in their yard. It's helping the water quality immensely, and it keeps us busy.
The ultimate goal is to have water that's drinkable, fishable, and swimmable.
Everybody's got to cooperate if we're going to make this a better world.
Haustein says because the water doesn't stand in the rain gardens for more than 2 days, there's no risk of mosquito problems as a result. For more information, go to the Conservation District's website. Stephen, Karen?
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks. Coon Rapids is hoping to boost organics recycling at 2 city-run facilities. Earlier this month, the City Council authorized staff to apply for 2 grants totaling around $10,000 each. One of the grants would pay for recycling containers and a small baler for the restaurant operation at the golf course. The other grant would add recycling and trash stations both inside and outside of the ice center. The grants are being offered through Anoka County on a first-come, first-served basis. Archery deer hunts began this weekend at 3 regional parks in Anoka County. Here in Coon Rapids, 42 permits have been issued for hunts in designated areas of Bunker Hills Regional Park, and 36 permits have been issued at the Coon Rapids Dam. The other controlled hunt is taking place at the Rice Creek Chain of Lakes Regional Park in Lino Lakes. The goal is to harvest up to 115 deer in total at all 3 parks. The hunts will continue into the first weekend of December.
The Halloween capital of the world is scaring up some fun in anticipation of the big day, which falls on the weekend this year. There's plenty of events going on in Anoka in the days ahead. On Saturday, a pumpkin carving contest for kids will take place at 3 p.m. at Aiken Riverside Park, and at 7 p.m. the Light Up the Night Parade makes its way down Main Street. Next Friday, it's the big parade of the little people at 1:15 p.m. Local school children walk on Main Street in their favorite costumes. And on Halloween, the Gray Ghost 5K run and walk takes place just prior to the big Grand Day parade at 1 p.m., which attracts thousands to Anoka every year. For a complete list of all the events, log on to anokahalloween.com.
Certainly lots of fun stuff there.
So much fun.
That's going to do it for us. We'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.